Are y'all ready to be marveled by the marketplace? We are here with Jody and Steve at Journey's Eye Studio downtown in Clarksville. How are you doing today?
Very well. So happy to be with you today.
Oh, I'm so excited. Tell me just a little bit about yourself. Do you like the Southern culture, or I know you've moved around a lot?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you. For me, he's kind of Southern himself. So, but I have not lived in the South, and I have loved every second of it. The people are so heart-filled, and I've, it's just the most loving community. I just love it.
Yes. So tell me, Jody, when did you get started owning your own business?
Well, I started very young. I think what happens is, for me, is that once I realized that all you need is to come up with an idea and then find a way to execute it, which meant for me, and I didn't know I was doing this, so I started in my mid to late teens, coming up with ways to, work basically. And so initially it was for other people, but as I started these little jobs, all of a sudden I realized I think just about anybody could do this, and I realized that it was my energy for life in general. So I mean, I would get up early and I would start my day, and I wouldn't quit till late. And I thought, goodness, this is business. This is how you do it. And so obviously the financial piece and how you do all that comes with learning, but eventually you take something you're passionate about and learn about it. And a lot of times, and I would say 98% is learning on the job. And so, and isn't that how life is anyway? You're learning as you go, and hopefully we never stop learning. And so it takes all of us, and also being a team player, I think. I'm not like, oh, this is just my business. No, come on. If you got something to say, I'd love to learn more. And so it always feeds one another's lives, as we do in real life. We all feed one another. And so I see that in business too, that there are ways to all work together in a community and make it vital for everybody. And so that's how I kind of got started. It started out. I mean, I've done everything from cleaning houses to running a spa to doing retail, all these different things. And I was a cowgirl. I was getting horses out of the mountains and milking cows and goats at 4 o'clock in the morning and doing massage and all sorts of things, and you still can be you, and and don't take anything as less worthy. You are worthy at whether you're emptying the trash, making coffee, or creating a program within the system. So I just think that I would like to support us all to keep going, to keep inventing and creating with one another.
I think that's amazing. I love how you collaborate and you help, and you anytime we ask you to do anything, you jump on top of it, and you're so helpful, and I feel like you support other people along with us, and that that makes me happy.
It makes me happy. I love it. Yeah.
Steve, how did you get started?
Well, really, I mean, I've done a lot of different things as well as Jody. I used to manage ski resorts. I taught tennis for a long time. I was a commercial fisherman, and then became an electrician for 13 years, and then kind of morphed that into general contracting and building. And really how this end of the in-house custom side came about was I was enjoying working in my little home shop more than I was enjoying going to work. So it started with, my shop was very small, and we had a vintage car in there, and it filled up with so many car parts, I couldn't throw these vintage car parts away, so I started building things out of them and giving them away as gifts.
Well, you put them in our shop, too.
Yeah, and then Jody started putting them in one of her stores in Boston, and people were buying it, and it just kind of took off from there. And I said, what a great way to recycle some of these vintage pieces that would just end up in a landfill, and give kids growing up, because these things are gone now, And it's a way for me to hold on to them. If I can build a piece of furniture out of a bumper off of a 59 Cadillac that would be in the trash, people can still appreciate that part and see the beauty in it. Because really, we don't build things the way we used to. And it's very sad. So everybody just goes to the big box stores or Walmart and they buy what everybody else has. And to me, that makes no sense. We fill our home with things that we love.
Right.
Everything in our home means something to us. And it's not we use it for 6 months and we throw it away and we go to Walmart and buy another one. That's not how we live. And I'd like to get back to that. And I just love to work with my hands. And there's no better way to do it than that. So.
And I just have to do my 2 cents for this guy. I think he's absolute genius, and his just consistently, he's the most even guy, and no matter what comes at you, I just so appreciate the thinking on your feet and moving from one thing to the next, because it's one of him and 10 million projects going on, and he does it flawlessly, and then these creations that he makes out of all these things. I don't even know how to go there, and I'm pretty creative, but what he sees out of a piece is so completely different from what I would see, and so I have such great appreciation for his genius and everything he creates, and it makes this place come alive too. So
working together helps, because you see something that she might not see, and she might see something you not see, and then it just gets bigger, the idea does.
And that's the best part of being in Clarksville too, is when we combined our lives in work as well, that it just made all the difference in the world. Instead of he'd be gone from the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, get home at 4, go right to the garage, start building so we could have something in the shop, and we'd eat at 9 or 9:30, and then just do that all over again. So now it's a much more fluid and fun time, it's great.
Yeah, so now we do it together.
So what do y'all do for the kids when they come in here?
We love the kids. So often the parents are, hands in pockets, don't do it. And I've said, okay, this is pretend like you're going to grandma's house, because your parents' rules don't work here. And so we have a little basket of little toys that the kids can choose something out of. And then I have coloring books and crayons and little things that they can draw inside of a book to tell their story. It's a little storybook. But the thing is to really engage in these little people. And they're awesome. They see things that they're very curious about what's going on, and they have something to say about what they're looking at. And so I love engaging with them. And Steve is very good with the kids when they come in. He's made some great connections. I have kids that come back on a regular basis. If they go to eat at Black Horse, the parents come in with their eyes rolling saying they will not sit down until they come over and see Jody. And, so they have to come in, they throw their arms around me, big hugs, and off they go to dinner. And Steve's got those connections here too. It's just the most endearing thing that this community, we want to consider it as our extended family, and that's how I think we should be all
now
together.
She just made me cry, y'all. See, this is where I'm gonna get all mushy. Because that's what I love about y'all. It's just the welcoming feeling, and really, it's whatever experience you get when you come in. And if you're going to be good to my kids, then you're going to be good to me. Like I take that as a telltale. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're going to be ugly to my kids. You might be ugly to me. You might just be showing face, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you do find that in stores like the store we have. The shop owners get very, very nervous when they see kids come in because there are breakable items. But we get excited because, for me, it's a way to share some of this art that we have here with a child. And that's the most important thing, is to push this stuff onto the kids, because if not, we're going to lose it. So we're as kid-friendly as we can possibly be. We always have things for them to play with. We never tell them not to pick anything up. We give them guitars to plug them into the amps and let them play.
Those poppers were amazing. The kids really liked the poppers.
Oh yeah, the Christmas poppers. I know, so fun.
Yeah.
Tell me something about the store here. What are y'all liking to do for your customers? What do y'all promote out, push out for your customers?
We have so many things available in this store. So we have the hand curated from around the country. Steve and I travel around and hand curate each piece. So either signed or out of circulation, the best that we know. So they are one of a kinds. Steve designs and builds all the industrial lighting and furniture. So we'll do anything from one small piece to full rooms or restaurants. As far as their lighting, bars, that kind of thing, we'll do the same for anybody's home. And then we have our music events here, where our singer-songwriter music events, once a month at the moment, hoping to increase that very soon. And we do fine art presentations. So we have sculptors, photographers, painters come in once a month and show their work, talk about it, and then the items are for sale.
So your artists and your vocal singers you bring in are all local or around the area?
The singer-songwriters are touring Nashville artists, so they all published and all have their 90 minutes of their own music to share with us all. So we put 60 people in here and have a great time.
If there's anything that y'all are ever working on, like a project, so I guess you more Steve, and like, is there anything you can't get done or complete? Like, is there a point where you get to something and you're like, I can't do it anymore?
Yeah, that happens on every project, really. But the beauty of what I do is I'm constantly building anywhere from 8 to 12 pieces at one time. So if I hit a wall, it's not really a wall. I just go to the next project. So it's hard for me. I don't do deadlines, really. I've never not made a deadline for a client. But because I have so many things going on at one time, I can always be creative with it. So if I get to a point where there's a turn in the road, I feel free to follow that turn. I don't have a set. I never build the same thing twice. And I never copy someone else's work. So for me, it's just 100% creative. And luckily, our clientele, that's what they want, and they appreciate that. So it's really, for me, it's a dream job, because I'm used to working with architects and designers and things when I was in the building trades and following their rules. And now I don't have to follow any rules, and it really opens the door. So I build furniture out of airplanes and vintage cars, and motorcycles. And there's no ceiling as to what we do. So we work with wood, glass, steel, pretty much anything. And
What's your favorite one?
My favorite?
One piece that you've designed, like last year or this year?
Mostly the aviation stuff. We just did a desk out of a wing off the back of a Beechcraft aircraft and incorporated Harley-Davidson motorcycle parts into it, a lot of other stuff. And that was really fun. So we're doing a lot more aviation related items right now, and some big pieces.
Where do you get the pieces from?
I'm sorry?
Where do you get the pieces?
We travel anywhere, pretty much from western Colorado to South Florida to Maine and everywhere in between. That's the fun part, is searching out the stuff.
And we get leads too as to who might have something, and so we jet there as fast as we can if there's a good lead to aviation parts or any of that kind of thing too. So.
And do y'all both leave at the same time? Do y'all have like staff that helps y'all? Like, do y'all
We have the
like,
best staff. A big shout out to our girls. They are amazing.
We have clients that actually come to the shop to pick out pieces to build, and everybody seems to love. We have a jet intake off of a DC-10 jet, and everybody loves it. And it's probably already sold. It's going to be a custom piece for somebody. And we also have some great items from the old Opryland. So we have the light pole. It's a dragon gargoyle light pole at an Opryland hotel, and a gigantic chandelier from there. But to me, my favorite stuff is the vintage car parts. So mostly everything from the 20s up into the 60s. So I'll go to junkyards and strip cars and just take the most unique items off of them. And we also build cars, so there's a lot going on over there.
One of my favorite things is the fuselage of the airplane, the Cessna.
Yeah, the Southwest Airlines 717.
Well, no, we're going to make the the body that we're going to make the camper out of.
Yeah, We're also building a tow-behind camper that's made from an airplane, 310 Cessna. So it's going to look like you're pulling an airplane down the street, but it's a queen-size bed, 2 chairs, pop-up table inside of it, with an outdoor kitchen on the back. So it's just really fun to be able to be that out there, creative-wise.
That is really neat. We are here still at Journey's Eye, and they're going to make me play a guessing game. I have to guess what their wonderful things are, and they are not antiques. They are more vintage, mid-century things.
Yeah.
What kind of fish is it? Like a bucksnort fish? What kind of fish is that? It's got like fangs.
Salmon.
It's a coho salmon.
A coho salmon.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have those here?
No.
I did not think so.
These are up in Pacific West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did y'all find this piece at?
I got this in New Hampshire. Find a lot of our good things up in the New England area.
That's a scary looking fish.
But tell her what it's made from.
I know, well, that's what you're supposed to guess.
Okay.
No, I have to guess what it's made from? Is it leather?
Yes, but what
Sort
kind
of.
of leather?
It's crocodile leather. I was going to say snake leather, but that's not leather, right? Leather. What kind of leather is it?
So this literally is the coho salmon leather. This is the tanned skin off of the fish. They turn it into this leather, and they've been doing this process for many, many years, and that the tradition or the art still continues up in Alaska and Canada. And so you can even look up leathered coho salmon, and they're still continuing the art form. And so they hand dye all these pieces, but even the branch is leather. And this piece is from the 50s, but they have some that are older and much newer.
This is another piece. Can y'all see this piece? This is a dinosaur tooth. Jurassic Park. Now it's got stuff drawn on it. Is it an elephant tooth? Tuft?
You are so close. But do you know what it's called, that type of art?
Mm-mm.
So this is called scrimshaw.
Wow. Can you see
And it's from, this was meant to be a whale's tooth.
that?
But this is made out of resin, because even though it's old, because along the way we stopped using whales' teeth
right.
or anything, that just like we don't use ivory anymore. Same idea. And so this is the artwork that was done on this. And there is a way, which I don't have this recorded, but by the way this scrimshaw piece is done, and the way the resin is here tells the age. So every age
like
of
a
it,
tree.
yeah.
Rings in a tree.
Well, but it's how they're processing too, how they
Yeah.
process the art, and you can date them that way.
What's our next piece?
Oh.
Oh, it's glass. Look, it's glass, y'all. But it was originally a straw.
Yeah, I like that ingenuity.
Was it?
No.
Oh, dang. Okay. Thought I was close.
What's it used for?
It's a napkin ring.
Oh, yay! Ding, ding, ding.
Yay!
She wins the prize.
It's a straw or a napkin ring. See? I do like that, though. Where did y'all find this piece?
I believe that was a New England piece, too.
So New England's got some
New
good vintage
England
pieces.
is, yes.
See, look, this piece is an airplane. Da, 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 da. Now, first, when y'all first set it down, I thought it was a bullet. Or like a really big gun. Gary knows about the big guns. A missile launcher right here. But then I figured out, look,
Yay!
It's a drink shaker.
You cheated. You were playing with that while we were preparing.
I was. But I guessed what it was right.
Right?
I think that's amazing.
Isn't
Look, you
that
can mix your
cool?
drink up.
And it stands.
Yeah, and then you stand
It
it
stands
up.
up. And you can pour your drink, or you can use the cane. Which at first I thought was a pool stick, y'all. like a traveling pool stick like that. But let me see. It's a flask.
You cheated.
It's a flask.
Isn't
Look.
that so cool?
I'm pouring you a drink, Casey.
Thank
Call me
you.
a cheater. Look at that. But at first I thought it was a pool stick or a weapon. But I love
That's
this.
a good one. Isn't that so fun?
This. I love this.
There we go.
This is wood.
Now that is a funky thing.
This is wood. It's a house.
Actually, I'm just going to pull this off so you can actually see it.
What does this piece do? Morse code?
That would be a good answer.
It's a telegraph machine.
Somehow something's misconnected right here.
It's going to send a telegram to these people back in the day. SOS, get me out of here. See?
So what this was, I mean, SOS would have been a pretty clever idea, but this was
That's a piano key.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So this was the traveling guys when you go door to door to sell pianos. So a door-to-door salesman, he'd bring this along and to show how the piano would sound. And you could, for each of the keys, it depended on how much this is like a material that soaks up moisture. And you put just a certain amount of moisture for each sound, and it would click it. And it used to hit it, and I don't know what I'm doing here. So when it knocked on the wood,
Needs to be adjusted.
yeah, then the sound of the moisture on there would make certain sounds, and it gave you an idea of how the piano would play.
Now I can remember when door-to-door salesman came to my house, but like for those Britannicas and those world books.
Yeah, the books and even
The vacuums. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I love it. I love this piece. I think it's
So they used to go
cool.
around and sell pianos door to door?
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what this was. So I'm assuming that's what it was.
Is there more pieces?
That's it. You win the
Woohoo!
prize. You did
Good
a good job.
Yay! Thank you for joining us on our couch time. Look, we're on a real couch this time. It's beautiful. And we have had Jody and Steve from Journey's Eye talking to us. And we are so thankful they let us come into their beautiful shop and sit on a comfy couch. Because this time, y'all, we really had a couch. Thank y'all.